This is your review on solving equations and inequalities. Anytime you're solving an equation, you want to make sure you simplify each side first. You're going to distribute first, so -3 times x, -3 times 4, and then combine your like terms. So 2 minus 12 is -10. After each side of the equation is simplified, you can add or subtract to move the variables to one side. So we're going to subtract 3x from both sides. And then at that point, you'll probably have a two-step equation. So we'll isolate the variable. This one we had to subtract 2 and then divide by 3. So example 1. Each side is simplified. There's only a variable and a constant term, so we want to get our variables together. We're going to subtract 3y from both sides. 3 minus 3y is 0. That's -9 equals 8 minus 3y is 5y plus 6. Oops. Then we want to get our constants together. We can subtract 6 from both sides. -9 minus 6 is -15. And then to get our variable by itself, we can divide both sides by 5, and we get -3 equals y, or y equals -3. Number 2, combine our like terms. We got to simplify. 3x plus 7x is 10x, and everything else stays the same. We still have the plus 6. We still have equals 41 plus 5x. Step 2, we want to get our variables together. We try to keep them positive. It doesn't have to be, but it's just helpful. 10x minus 5x is 5x, and everything else stays the same. Get the constants together, subtract 6 from both sides, and we get 5x equals 41 minus 6 is 35. Divide both sides by 5, and we get x equals 7. Now number 3, distribute. Keep the 7m. 2 times 3m is 6m. 2 times -11 is -22. Get your variables together. Subtract 6m from both sides. 7m minus 6m is 1m equals -22. Number 4, again, if you go back to the steps up top, you got to distribute before you multiply, or before you combine like terms. So we don't want to do 4 minus 6. We want to do the distributive property first. So we're going to keep the 4, and we're going to keep the equals 16, and then we're going to distribute -6. -6 times x is -6x. -6 times -2 is -12. After you distribute, then you can combine like terms. 4 plus -12 is -8. Add 8 to both sides. You get 6x equals 24. Divide both sides by 6. You get x equals 4. Number 5, this one's a little weird. You can deal with fractions if you want. If you wanted to get rid of the fractions, whatever you do to one side of the equation, you have to do to the other side. If I wanted to get rid of all of the fractions, I would want to multiply by a number that can be divided by 9, divided by 6, and divided by 3. 9, 3, and 6, the least common multiple is 18. So by choosing to multiply by 18, I know I'm going to get rid of all of the fractions. 18 times 1/9 x is 2x. 18 times 2/3 is 18 times 2 divided by 3, which is 12, equals 18 times x. And 18 times 5 divided by 6 is 15. So just by knowing how to clear the denominators multiplied by the least common multiple of 3, 6, and 9, you can get rid of all of your fractions. And then subtract 2x from both sides. 12 equals 16x minus 15. Add 15 to both sides. And 27 equals 16x. Divide both sides by 16, and this one's weird. X equals 27 over 16. Hopefully I did that math right. Okay, number 6, similarly, you can add 5 to both sides. And again, there are multiple ways to solve an equation. As long as whatever steps you take, you get the same answer that I get in the end, you're solving it correctly. If you want to get rid of this fraction, you can multiply both sides by 4. The whole side of both sides gets multiplied by 4. 4 times negative 1/4 is negative 1. And on the other side, you want to distribute 4x plus 32. And then you have no more fractions, which is really nice. Subtract 32 from both sides. Oops, don't do that. You have variables on both sides. You want to get your variables together. So we're going to subtract 4x from both sides. Negative 5x equals 32. Divide both sides by negative 5. X equals negative 32 over 5.